Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and today we're going to be doing a really exciting unboxing for Hoplomachus Rise of Rome, along with some expansion packs and some premium chips and some alloy dice and all kinds of other really cool things. So this is the second entry into the series, this Rise of Rome one here. The prior one is the Lost Cities, which I will be doing an unboxing for here in the near future. But for right now, we're going to do this one. I'm kind of doing it in reverse order because you guys are currently watching a Hoplomachus Origins playthrough, which is actually the third entry into this series. So I'm kind of unboxing these and showing them to you in reverse order. But remember, we're solo specific here, so I started with Origins and we're moving backwards just because. I don't know why. So we're going to go ahead with what I have here, and hopefully this will show you what you get inside the box, as well as these packs if you were to purchase them from Chip Theory Games. And they are available, so there's some pretty exciting stuff here. So this is obviously a lot of this is going to enhance your game that you already have, depending on which entry of the series you started with. But let's get a lot of this stuff out of the way and start with one thing instead of it just being cluttered. So I'm going to move out all the major expansion chips out of the way. These are premium health chips here, so I'm going to take them and toss them aside. They're also really, really nice, make nice weighted chips. Alloy dice, we'll be talking about those in a second as well. The very first thing we'll talk about probably is likely this tray. I've been using this in the Hoplomachus Origins playthrough. Really, really handy. It's good for Too Many Bones. It's good for Hoplomachus Rise of Rome, Origins, whatever. It's poker chip holder. It's very inexpensive on their site, and it also holds a really nice amount of them. So if you're looking for one, they do have them available, and they're very handy. I currently use one and like it. This right here is actually a staging map for Origins. So essentially what this is going to allow you to do is either before or after, when you start your game, when you're drafting your individuals, you can draft them here. For if you're playing solo, you're only using one side, but you draft your guys. Of course, I think your champions would sit here, but if you're playing just solo, remember you can have more than one champion play. There's an area right here for fallen warriors, so as your guys die, you can stack them here. It just allows for a place to actually put them. I think if you're watching my playthrough right now, as they die, I just take them and push them off of the map. Like essentially I just move them out of the way. But I think it just makes a lot more sense to have somewhere to actually stage them before they come in, and also put them when they die. So this is really cool and nice little accessory you can add. Again, it's a neoprene mat, so it's very, very nice. I enjoy it. Or at least I will enjoy it when I start using it, and I will be throwing that into the playthrough as well going forward. So let's unbox Hoplomachus Rise of Rome. But first, before we do, let's read a little bit about what it's about. So it says a game by Adam Carlson and Josh Carlson. It's a standalone expansion and can combine with Hoplomachus, the Lost Cities for 4-player mode. So this was I believe the first time in the Hoplomachus series, this would have been the second entry, so right after the Lost Cities, where 4-player games were possible, and this is one of them that made it possible. So we just flip this over. It's a pretty large, it's a very thin box, like it's not super thick, but it's very wide. But again, remember these guys love putting neoprene mats in their stuff. So that's also cool. Even got the dice tower here up in the top right, saying a simple, easy to play war game with unique pieces and a lot of heart. So that's Tom Vassell. He's got his quote right up there. But again, really, really cool. It's going to add a lot to what I already have in Origins, so I'm really excited for that. So I'll just read this really fast and we'll start unboxing. So this one says, for many years, slaves and criminals have made their way through the gladiator ranks, some coming abruptly to their end and others making names for themselves. Then came the Lost Cities, advanced civilizations, each with unique fighting styles and tactics. The Empire convinced them to fight in the arena, and Rome and Pompeii have been watching, learning, and honing their skills to challenge these new adversaries. So I'm not going to talk too much about this besides just mentioning it says here 1 to 2 players. It also mentions ages 12 and up and 45 minutes to an hour to play. So we'll just start cracking into this right away here to see what you get in the base, or I guess the base game of Rise of Rome. Not talking about any expansions yet. So we'll do that right after this. So once you get the plastic wrap off this guy, and again, like I said, it's quite wide, it's quite a large box, but I do appreciate the inserts that they made in this one, because I believe it fits all of your chips and stuff like that. So there you go, Hoplomachus Rise of Rome, really cool. That's pretty awesome, like the cover art. So we'll take the top off, and there we go. So a very different look from Origins in terms of its layout of the box. Obviously, there's a lot of really cool room for extras as well. As you'll notice, inside of this tray, they've actually left room for more chips to be put in, and I think that's something that I appreciate right off the hop by looking at it. is knowing that you can throw some more stuff into this. So again, similar to Origins, I guess you're going to have your rule book. This right here I'm not too familiar with. It says the Colosseum. So this may be something that's been added in, or this is probably the AI. Yes, this looks like the AI, kind of similar to what we were seeing in Origins. So that might have been the first implementation of it, being that this was the second entry in the series. I'm not sure. I'll find out very soon. The Rise of Rome rulebook, again, not too bad in terms of thickness. Has about 15 pages or so. Also shows a nice display in the back of all the different items you can add into your game, which is really cool. And again, the rules are laid out very familiar to Origins and the Lost Cities, if you're familiar with either of those. So we'll put those to the side for a second. Next up, let's talk about, well, first off, we're very familiar with these from Origins and the unboxing and the playthrough, just plastic unweighted chips, so they're not heavy at all. I do have those off to the side, the heavier ones, which I'm going to put in for sure. So we got 3 packs of those. We have what looks to be a dice bag, so another nice dice bag to chuck, actually 2 dice bags, so that's nice to be able to throw dice into. Again, you've got your typical dice that come in the standard game. So this one has greens, although it looks like it has 2 of every die. I think that's a little bit more than Origins. Origins had just an extra blue and a yellow. This one has double of all the dice. So that's nice. I'm having a hard time getting them out just because they're sitting perfectly flat in the tray, but you guys are very familiar with the dice from Hoplomachus Origins. Again, have different variations on hits and things like that. These are the chips, so these are weighted. These are the heavier ones. They represent the gladiators, tactics, and everything that's being added in. So these are the ones that feel premium. They have some serious weight to them. So again, we can go ahead real quick. I'll tear one of them open, for example, just so you guys can see it. Because it'd be interesting to actually take a look through a few of them. I'll see if I can do this without dropping them everywhere, which is probably what I'll end up doing. So here is some of them, for example. So Pompeian attacker. That one's flipped upside, or I guess they're all flipped upside at that point. Let's see if I can get them facing the right way. There we go. Okay. We'll do a few of them, for example. So, like I said there, you got the Pompeian archer. Pompeian, is it another one? Yep. We got the Pompeian, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Attacker. The defender. Another defender. CE gladiator. Interesting. Oh, really cool artwork on that one. So, that's pretty awesome. Wow, look at the dice on those guys. Some of these are pretty hefty, so pretty incredible. Foothold, I'm assuming, oh, so sorry, these must be, that's the backs of them. Interesting, I've never seen that before, so that's going to be interesting to mesh into what I currently have. But I won't show you every single chip in the entire thing, because there's a lot to go through. But essentially, more to those houses that we saw in Origins, and I believe there's also a couple that I don't have. Like, not familiar with the white ones. I think I have a couple white ones. I'll find out more about what they work with, as well as this burgundy color here. So, if I take a look at them, it looks like they're a different house. Oh no, that's just Rome. I have Rome. Never mind. But yeah, some extra guys to add to Rome as well. Some archers and things like that. So very cool. Okay, so that's that. The next thing is, obviously there are 3 giant tubes here, as you'll notice. So this is where we get into we're gonna need some space a little bit. So I'm gonna toss this box a little bit further away. Move this down. I'm gonna pull this guy out and show you an example of one of the mats. These are thick, heavy neoprene mats. So they're also quite large, but really colorful. Wow, that looks really nice. There's a nice shine to it too. So that's pretty large. I think that might be going off the camera. Wouldn't be surprised. But there you go. That's pretty incredible. Let's see here. Hopefully you guys can see that. But that's pretty awesome. So a whole brand new layout for your attacks, your fighting, all that kind of stuff. So you can see the detail on it. Very cool, very colorful. That's one thing too. Neoprene mats usually lose a lot of color in printing. But it looks like this one definitely pops. And it looks really cool. So you have, again, like, you have staging areas when you're playing PvP, 2 different sides. I'm going to have to get used to all of that because this is going to implement a whole bunch of new rules I'm going to have to learn. But it looks really, really cool. And this is just one of the mats. I think this tube, oh, that's really convenient. So this tube's actually not another mat. It's a tube to allow you to roll this up and store it in. So that's smart. And in the box that we just saw, you'll see that there is room. So essentially you have an extra space here, but you also have a tube. So I'll be putting probably this mat in this tube. Maybe this one here is empty as well. Yep, this one's empty as well. So just for storage. And my assumption is as you get more mats, whether they're expansion mats or not, they'll be able to be stored in the same box, which I do appreciate because obviously storing them outside of a box is kind of annoying. So that's pretty much it for Rise of Rome, because I'm not going to go into the mechanics of what's different between the two, but this gives you a good idea of what to expect inside the box. So for now, I'll put that to the side, and we're going to talk a little bit about the extra premium stuff. So this is going to be things that are outside of Rise of Rome. So we're going to talk about things like, let me see here, I'm just going to try to get the focus back in the camera, because I think I lost it there for a second. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be talking a little bit about the premium packs and additions. So if you are going to move into premium packs for additions, you're talking things like Beast and Master, Army of One, Blades Edge, and Legends of the Sand. So we can just rip into these one by one to take a look at what they have to offer. And they even show you on the back. So for instance, the Legends of Sand gives you individuals and tactics from these 5 different houses to add to your pool of your collection, essentially. And of course, they're going to bring with them likely new abilities and new talents. So that's really cool. So here's this one. It has a little bit of a thank you for your purchase type thing. And it comes with a handful of premium chips. So a whole bunch of new individuals to add to your game. So that's really cool. So here's an example of one of them. Very cool. We got some new tactics. Place trap on an unoccupied hex within tactical range. You can use traps now. Roman, wow. Some of the, and the artwork's really cool. It's very much thematic for its time and era. Very, very nice. Tactic, crowd assistance. Unit is hit for 1 damage. So probably the cheering of the crowd. That's really cool. So this is going to be exciting to add this stuff into what I currently have, having that all put together. So for now, in order to keep things organized, because I'll probably forget what came with what, I'll leave it in the ripped bag till I have a chance to actually organize those. We're going to go to the Blades Edge pack now, which has another load of new individuals to be added to this particular game. And what do we got here? Look at that, another stack of chips to add to my collection. So Saffron of Atlantis, Vimbraces. See if I can grab these at the same time. Wow, cool. These are going to be really nice to play with for sure. Let's see. The yellow one, yeah, I guess I haven't used many. Borges Eldorado, that's Eldorado, yeah. Equipment, cool. So and that's the thing too, like I don't know how many equipment pieces there really are in Origins. Haven't played that far into it yet, but it appears that I know the Trident, I believe, is a piece of equipment. It may not be considered a piece of equipment, though, in Origins, but very, very cool. Holy, 15 health. Wow. So he's a big guy. So you can see there's some pretty cool chips that they've added into the game, likely to make it more difficult or to add to your drafting pool options. The next one is Beast and Master. So take a cut into this one. See what's inside. Another set of new chips. Oh, cool. So these are going to get into like animals and stuff like that. So for instance, we have like the Armored Rhino. That's pretty awesome. Beastmaster. The Slateback Gorilla. That's so cool. This is awesome. Another Beastmaster of a different kind. That is a Mist Panther. So this is going to be really cool having like animals showing up inside the arena. Falcon. That is a Eldoranian Beastmaster. So there's obviously a Beastmaster for each of the houses. That makes sense. And there's some beasts that go along with it. Oh, there we go. That's cool. a sea crocodile, because that's just awesome. So I like that pack. That I mean, I like them all so far, but that's probably the coolest addition, is having not just humans being involved, but some animals too, reptiles and whatnot. So this last pack is called Army of One. So this one actually is different, because as you'll see, it doesn't have any affiliation to the different houses. It's a AKA solitaire bundle. It's solo battles for the Lost Cities and Rise of Rome. So this is going to be, it might be gladiators. I'm not too sure. Oh, they're considered titans. That's right. So it's a whole different chip to use in the game. So you can see even the backs of them have the Hoplomachus, the Lost Cities back on them. So they're going to fit into that game. So that's another reason why you saw the tray design the way it was, because there are going to be chips that are going to show up from these expansions. They're going to end up adding into other games, which is why there's all that space. So just showing you some of the artwork, some of the chips. Some of these guys are rolling some insane amount of dice. Like, look at that guy. Jeez, like 5 dice, that's insane. And that actually gets me excited, because you guys know what's coming next is alloy dice. I don't know if you've seen the alloy dice or not, but they are really cool. So let's dig into those next, because I think that's going to be one of the ones that people are going to be extremely happy or excited to see, because the dice that come inside of the games currently, I'm going to see if I can get my focus back here. Sorry about that. So, come back to me. And I've lost my focus. There we go. We'll bring it back out, and we're back again. Okay, so we're going to talk about the alloy dice. And the reason why I'm so excited about these ones is because this is truly a pack that really adds to the feel of the game and even the sound of it. Because when you're rolling dice currently, this is what it sounds like in your hands. I mean, it's exciting, but it's sure not as exciting, right? Cool, sounds okay. But these alloy dice are going to be amazing. They're going to sound awesome. So, just for the thematic feel of them, and they're also heavy, like very, very heavy. Oh wow, they're individually wrapped. So you can see, just to show you guys, every die is individually wrapped. I have to open up each pack of these things. Let's see if I can do this quickly. Oh, wow. I felt that thing hit the table. That had some serious weight to it. Okay. Look at the shine on these things. Now, this might be the coolest addition to the whole set I've got here. But listen to this sound. And they are heavy. Like, they have some serious weight. Do you hear that? So, like, you're rolling your dice in the normal game, sounds like that. Alloy dice sound like this. So it sounds like you're battling. Like, it just, and they also, the funny thing too that they also say is that when they clang together, it kind of sounds like clashing swords as well. So it just gives way more of a thematic feel to the dice rolling. So I'm not going to open up every single pack. Obviously, if I put all 6 in my hands, it'd sound extremely loud. The other cool thing too is that it also sounds differently on neoprene. So I'm not going to lay this correctly, so just due to space being an issue. But I'll roll it on the neoprene so you guys can hear it, because that's another thing you can do when you're playing. That's what it would sound like on neoprene, basically. With the regular dice and with these dice, just thumps. And the reason for that is the bouncing. It's the give that the neoprene has, and the alloy dice are so heavy that they bounce and they're just super loud. I love the way that sounds. Okay, so that's really cool. Big fan of that. And again, guys, if you're watching my playthrough for Hoplomachus Origins, this stuff's going to be put in. I'm absolutely going to start using these dice. I will be adding in the drafting mat or the staging mat. So there'll be a couple things you'll notice kind of pop in. The last thing, the other thing I definitely am going to bring in is the premium health chips. I'm only going to open up 2 packs because there's no point because they're very similar, but it's just going to show you the colored weighted chips. So it's taking chips that come in the game typically that are like this, which are light as a feather, and it's going to make them weigh the exact same amount as the actual gladiators. And of course, they also just look a lot cooler. So this is going to line up more so with what they're doing with Too Many Bones, where the weight actually, or the health chips, sorry, actually have some serious weight and feel like legitimate poker chips. So this is really cool. So I will be putting this into my Hoplomachus Origins playthrough as well, so you guys can see these in action. And of course, they just sound nice when you're playing with them. So those are the blue ones. So this is what they look like. Chips are really high quality. They have the chip theory game with little icon through it on both sides. Very cool. And then of course there's the red version. So blue is what I'll be using obviously for the enemies that I'm facing. And then I'll have red for myself. So same back and front, but this time these ones are gonna have some, they're just gonna be a different color. And honestly, at the same time, seeing the color difference on these versus this, you can see the difference in color. It's pretty substantial. It's definitely a little bit brighter. So you can see these are like kind of washed out a little bit with the regular ones, and they're just lighter, whereas these are really vibrant, and they also match really well with the actual colors of, they match very similar to the colors of the actual gladiators, and the weight, which is awesome. So that's pretty much it, I think. I think that's the sum up of what I have right now. So in the future here, I'm going to be doing an unboxing for Hoplomachus The Lost Cities as well, and then that will pretty much sum up the Hoplomachus unboxing of everything. I also am getting a, I have on order a mat as well, I believe, like a battle mat that's going to be coming, a separate one. So that's really exciting. So I'll be able to show you guys those as well. Again, this is all in an effort to show you guys whether or not you're interested in this game, what you'll get when you buy this stuff. You know, like, and if you're already waiting for it and are super excited, well, maybe this will ease your pain and suffering as you wait for it to show up. So either way, I hope this helps in some way. And again, like I said, I'll be implementing the premium dice, or the premium chips, the premium dice, as well as the drafting and staging mat into the Origins playthrough. So if you're following along with that, feel free to jump in. Remember to subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you've seen and want to see more Hoplomachus. I'm really excited for this game. It's been out for a while, but I really believe it deserves more airtime because it really is a smart and thinky strategy type game. And I think solo players really enjoy that, especially one that's quick to the table. So anyway, hope this helped, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Keep on rolling solo.